take a look what's going on. I didn't really have much trades today besides the overnight session, but I think that was a pretty good short here. I don't know if anyone caught that. Did anyone short here? This one here was pretty good. I mean, I guess it was still overnight, but this was a pretty good rejection here. Then they broke inside the value area highs here, and then I think it was chopped pretty much since noon here. So this was, I would say, had to be quick. You're playing 5 to 10 points. So it was pretty nasty range here. And you could probably get eaten alive in this area here because it was just nasty at the end. But tomorrow, when you look at this chart here, I mean, obviously we're in a 4-day balance. What that means is you got 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and the value areas are somewhat overlapping, right? So let me hide this drawing here. If you look here, the value areas are overlapping. The value area high, I believe this is Thursday, and the value area low of Wednesday are kind of right there, and that's where the rejection came. They're really not finding value above. So you do have a VPOC that's right here sitting right now. So that's the only remaining VPOC that we have. I believe that there's some up higher. There's 1. But there's not much left here in terms of the VPOCs to the upside. So everything the bears did, they came back, they retested, they made sure it's right. And it's important. What level would you guys play this to the upside?
Above the PD value area high.
I think that would be a good level. Yeah. I would still be aware of that 44.25 level, which was the VPOC here. I still think it's pretty important, right, that they clear this node here. So, you know, they had trouble staying above this at all times here, and they're still below it. So if they're able to clear this and build value above this node here, that would be ideal. Right. So if you look at this, it would be a good zone to kind of capture it. But taking this over 16, I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea, right? And then if you take a look at this, the whole dump here, right, from the highs to the lows, probably not a bad profile to keep while you're trading. You see where we are. We really, you know, as big of a bounce this was, you know, 100 points from 43.50 to where we went, almost 100 points. I mean, you're still at the bottom of this. You're not inside the value area low of this drop. So 44.78 would let you have that inside and kind of getting back in. But this is where a lot of, obviously, accumulation happened at this level. And Apple had the similar setup right here, but it was just that it was higher. Hence, I entered a short swing on Apple, right? But this is ideal as well here. So if I was to just kind of focus on this, here, you see where the POC is going to be here for the most part. Even if I leave it there, you see that this level 44.87 is going to be pretty important. And this level should ring a bell for most of you, I would say. If you don't remember this level, we've had it before where it was a bounce level that we expected. Now it's becoming a resistance level. This is where you accumulated. This is where you dumped. So if they do break this, if you want to call it double top now, and this value area high gets taken out, you have to hop over this, I would say 44.40 level, and then, you know, you're going to go higher. I would be aware of the developing value area high for the monthlies, even though it's not done. We are kind of approaching that, right? So you have, you know, 4 days here and 4 days, so about 8 days left on the monthly. So I would definitely kind of just keep an eye on it. So let me turn this off so you guys can see it. So this is your value area here, value area low for the monthly. It's sitting right at 446. And when you look at this, right, you have 3 months. Basically, if we close outside of this one and we hold the June value area low, what does that tell you? It'd be a 3-month balance, right? You'll be sitting at the balance, and then you would have this level here at 44.19, which should be pretty much like a 3-month POC. The last time we had something like that was, you know, way back. I believe it was the March area, right? When we entered it, I think it was March somewhere. I think it was here, right? When we followed this last time we had it, and that's basically our 41.40 level. If we fail to hold this 43.50, this is going to be quick here, in my opinion. It's going to go quickly from here. Most likely, they're going to stop a little bit here, slow down, get a little bounce, and then eventually they're going to hit the 41.40. And I think that's where we are headed right now. Because if you grab this from the bottom, and let's say grab it to the top here, you know, you have the 41.40 level. This is the level that we are watching, I guess, for a bounce, 42.23. Because that would mean what at the 42.23? Why would this level be important?
Long time frame buyers coming to accept that value higher.
Yeah, this would be a key level here. I mean, they're gonna look to be acceptance of value higher or break below and go to value area low, which should be, what is this? Let's call it 3,800. And when I write this, right, don't think this happens overnight. I mean, we don't lose 500 points overnight. It took a long time to build. That would be the final destination where they're going to push, because that's where they're going to get their orders in as well. So don't think, oh yeah, we were supposed to go there. There's a lot of bounces, right? 4140 should be a nice bounce here. If they fail, then you have this giant volume node. It's not as, it's not sticking out as much, but it's pretty wide volume node, which indicating that they're happy trading in this area, and it's pretty thick. So I would expect, if I was to ignore if I was to grab these 3 months here, the value, this POC would shift. And let's just test the theory. If I was to grab here and not extend it. Okay, this one goes all the way. Let's see, I don't want that one, I want this. Yeah, so it'd be somewhere around 39.64. So, I mean, you would have 41.40, 39.64, and that's kind of like your VPOC here at 39.86. So this would be the major levels that I'm interested personally on a bigger scale, right? If we lose this January value area low, I think it happens quick, the way we dump. So why is this? I thought it was 4,200 last time I had it. Okay, that's close enough. So I would expect this to be defended right here somewhere. And then this POC, I think this is going to be a huge bounce. You guys can take this as far as you want. And I think this really barely shifts here. Like few points. So if you're going to watch anything, it's this level here, for potential long swings right here. Okay. Let's see, just to see the profile for it. Okay, so currently developing, oof. Do you guys see anything interesting here?
Is it that we're in an uptrend ever since we hit June val?
I would say you're in an uptrend, but you haven't really changed the character. If you guys recall, where's my change of character? Do you guys recall that? I said this 96 was a late spike. You guys remember this right here? I said this would, this wouldn't be important for me right here. That you could be treating this as a change of character if you're really aggressive at 43.90, and you can still. If I want to turn my bias, this is the level they had to close above. They had to spend some time above it, come back, and then you're proceeding probably to go higher and test the previous highs. But obviously they failed. They didn't even have many candles close above it. So ideally we want to flip this over, and the best case would be that you reclaim the current month value area low. Right, so you're out of the balance on monthly, you're in balance on the weekly, and you guys see this. I would say, what is this, 43.94? If we lose this level, I think we go to the first sig. We go to 43.73. You lose that, you're going to hit every one of these levels on the bottom side, and then this is where the fight comes in. I would say for the for the bulls and the bears, it's going to be 43.53, 43.59. If we fail to hold this, high chance that you're going to be exploring prices lower, and I think we have some VPOCs right below to hit. Does that make sense? But pay attention to the nodes of the prior week where you're trading right now. Pay attention to this node and this POC node. Look at this. Peaked above, came back, peaked above. So now if they come back here, probably somewhere to this level, 43.84. This is what I was expecting. I don't know if you guys saw that when I wrote it in chat, but this is what I was expecting today. I was expecting to see the 43.84 level, but they came back and they defended it pretty much the whole day. Any questions on the weekly? So weekly's in balance, monthly's out of balance, and then when you look at the, does everybody understand when I say imbalance, what it means?
Value areas overlap.
In the range.
They're inside the value areas of their respective time frame on the period that we're on, right? So that was our weekly, and you see here on the weekly, just so you guys know. This is your value area high on the weekly, which was, what was the 19th? Does anyone recall? I'll bring it back if you don't remember. Anyone remember? What is 19? You guys. Okay. You guys recall this level? June POC?
The POC from 4 hour for years. The
Yeah, this
accumulated.
is June POC is 44.19 here. I think it was 19 and a half, but, or maybe a quarter. But that's the June POC that we should have held this today. At close, we should have closed above here, preferably above 25, but we did not. And I think now if we can reclaim this 45, I think your bias goes up a little bit, because then just look at the notes. You don't waste too much time. If you're able to reclaim this June POC, and if you can build value here, and you don't have to explore higher, build value here, where would be the next level you target? What supply hasn't been tested on this downtrend? Has this one been tested? There's a rotation here.
Yes.
I don't think this one's been tested yet. I'm meaning retested. It hasn't been there yet. Yeah, so this level hasn't been hit yet. So if they're able to reclaim that level that I showed you, there's a high chance that they might come back and go towards this cluster here. And that would be the June value area high and July value area low. They might be targeting that like 4,500, and they're single prints at 45.02. Okay. So this is what you're watching tomorrow. We have to be quick. If they want to get this going tomorrow, they have to be quick. And I think JPOW speaking tomorrow. So I'll be really, really cautious, trading heavy tomorrow. If you think today was pretty shitty price action, wait till you see tomorrow. Okay. And I think this is acting almost like an SR flip now. We went from it. We came back. We lost it. We tried to gain it back. We looked above, and what happened?
We failed.
We failed. So typically this is my setup indicating that we're gonna most likely go lower.
Almost looks like a head and shoulders.
It does, and I think if it was Sunday, then I'm bad with time, but we talked about that they're probably gonna bounce, if you recall, the 43.50, which is the value area low here of June, right? They bounced perfectly here, and then they created that shoulder. Just look at, I don't know if there's no video, just watch Sunday's class or watch list and see what we drew here. We expected this bounce here, guys, up to here, and now there's a potential we proceed lower, in my opinion. And then on my levels here, I still have these levels, right? I was just starting a new one for you guys. So I would just modify these, and I will share the link with you guys as well.
Shorty, Paul's talking on Friday, but there's some other Fed speakers who will speak
Oh, it's
from
not today?
on Thursday. Tomorrow's, I think, just PMI. Jackson Hole's Thursday and Friday, but Paul's on Friday.
Okay. Oh, there's some auctions for the bills. There's something at 8 o'clock.
We got jobless claims.
Yep, that's on 24th, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, isn't
Tomorrow is 23rd.
yeah, okay. Just to tell him.
You're living ahead of us.
I am. I'm in the future already.
Yeah, tell us
That's
what
why my
happened.
trading sucked.
It wasn't good today.
Not for me.
This is no longer a VPOC, just a POC. And I would say you have a VPOC here. I would make sure you guys kind of have this one here. But this node here is going to be super important for them. So they fixed this little skinny belly here with this drop, but they haven't touched this 4360. So if they do come for it, they could definitely bounce here, right? But this right here, this is prior week POs. I mean, there's so much here at this level. Let me just look at 5. To me, and I'm not, you know, I don't trade the bear flag, but this looks like an ideal bear flag. So let's see what they do. Do they dump? I mean, this looks like almost picture perfect here, guys. Look at this. So let's see what they do. I don't see how they're gonna break this overnight tonight. But they're becoming really aggressive here. They just hit 10 points. And typically this would be a really good short right here, right now. But look at that candle that's there. So they should not be able to break this right here, but let's see if they do. And your stop loss could be, if you, let's say if you want to trade this tonight, I would look for a stop loss to be somewhere right here. So it would look like, let's say you're getting in somewhere around here. It's not a bad trade, guys. It's actually making me turn on some stuff. I don't think this is a bad trade, but let's see. Okay. And any questions on ES? Is that everybody fairly clear or?
Shorty, for your June POC, you have it at 19. I have it at 16.5. Not on a 4-hour
Yeah.
chart.
Yeah, I use daily and there's a reason for it. And in this
Okay.
case, when I looked at it, so if you go on 4 hours, the 16, I don't know, maybe it's me, right? Maybe my perception. It just did not hit as well as it did on daily. Meaning the levels were not really respected. And that's why I switched it. So if you look here, here's the 4 hours and you see the drop right there, I would say 16, yeah, 16 and a half. And I don't know if that's correct or not, but when I go on daily, it's going to shift a little bit. And you see here, I got a nice little hit, nice little bounce. I don't think there's a wrong way because I would say, you know, Island, I would say that I would say it's not a single level. I would treat it more like a +2, -2 on this level here. So it would be something like this. I think I would cover your case. So let's see, 19, I would probably go to this shelf, go to this shelf. I would call it something like this. So that would be almost very close to your POC. So 3 points or 2.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, I would treat it as almost like a little zone. But yeah, I did notice that. I think GIF also pointed out. I don't know if anyone took the short. I'm kind of really tempted to fucking get on right now. This is a really good entry, guys, in my opinion. But let's see. Let's see what they do. Okay, any questions on this? If they dump while we're here, I'll be upset. Okay, let's take a look at NQ. Okay, well, before I go, let me go here on a cleaner chart. Is anyone confused when we talk about sigmas here right now? Anyone that's not following like what we're talking about? Tobias, how do you feel about sigmas? No, it does. Okay. If you're confused about it, there's a slide in the PowerPoint, a training PowerPoint that covers specifically the sigmas. But what I have here is the 1, 2, 3 sigmas here. I added the June POC, and then I added this level that I'd be interested in shorting, which is around 43.94 and a quarter. So if you're able to break that, can you short that for 10 points? Probably could, right? Catch this POC here, which was the PD POC. So I'll probably play that tomorrow. So I thought it was JPOW tomorrow, so I guess it's good to know. But this 40, I guess 387 and a 3-day POC, I think it was there. Let me check. 3-day POC, yeah, it was at 80 some, so the range is here. Yeah, so the 3-day POC was a little bit below. It was at 84, yeah. So this is the range I'll be watching tomorrow, 87, 84 for a bounce. If they do catch there and, we catch some bid there as they're dropping the price, I'd be interested to see that hold there, okay? The SIG, since we're in a 5-day balance, right? Or 1, 2, 3, 4-day balance, I'm sorry, on ES. I'm basically drawing the FVP from here to the end, and you get the result, which looks like something like this. To make it a little bit prettier, you can change this if you'd like, 200, right? It's not going to change much, just the nodes, the way it looks. But this is the cumulative POC of that 43.84. Here's your sigmas, right? I guess on this one, sigma's a little bit less, so I'll adapt it to this. 44.15 and a quarter. And this one here, 43.67. Okay, so that's the sigmas and playing these levels. And when do we use sigmas?
When price is in a range, at least 3 days.
Minimum, we need 3 days to be in the range, and you can start drawing your sigmas. They're telling you we're in balance at the moment. We're awaiting. Obviously, we're awaiting news and JPOW, and seems like all your short dated calls, puts, SPX are going to be inflated till JPOW speaks or something's given. And right now, the market makers are going to pump the IV so they can collect more money. So if you're trading options, just be a little bit careful, because once they drop the IV, even if the direction of the move is in your favor, you're going to need a lot of more help to recover. Okay. Somebody asked, and if you have questions, how do I play the shelves, right? So let's pick a stock. Anyone has a stock they want to look at, they're interested in?
Tesla.
Tesla. I shorted Tesla here today. I was up about 44% and I had to close it. Why would I short here? Anyone? You see it?
A single flip.
Yeah.
This is just too beautiful not to short. You come here, I'll short you every time, first time, right? So I actually played September. No, I'll tell you, I believe September 15th. Let's see, I think I played September 15th. Here's Tessie. September 15th, 220s. I got him cheap, and I was able to make like $200 a contract on him. So it was a good play. I just didn't want to hold it. I had a lot going on today. But that was the idea on Tesla, right? So in my opinion, I think we had a really good chart on Tesla, if I recall, on it, right? We expected a bounce, which was our green zone here. Do you guys recall that? Well, actually, here's the chart. We said that there's a high potential that they're going to bounce this, right? In the green zone, there was this level here, and I guess they ran it along with NVIDIA that day. This was the SR flip that they're running into. If they reclaim this level, they're probably going to run it to 247. Okay, that's the supply. So if I was to draw this from here, where do you guys think, just estimate, where's the POC on this run? If you had to take a wild guess.
260.
270.
All right, fair enough. 266, good job. So you have heavy shelves here, right? You see the overlap, and you should train your eyes to spot these rotations or accumulation zones, right? At least my eyes are able to quickly spot it. And even on, higher, smaller time frame, like today I was playing, not playing, I was actually mentoring somebody on just entry level stuff and how to use volume profile. And as I'm telling him, Qs are going to drop, they're going to hit 363, they're going to bounce 50 cents. And it's happening, and this dude's just staring at me. And, he's not a trader. He hasn't been trading ever. And he's like, dude, what the fuck's going on here? Qs hit 363, they bounce like 44 cents from there. And guys, it's volume. The volume confirms your price. I know people say price pays, but do we need to auction the $20 bill again? It doesn't matter where the price is if you don't have the buyers or sellers participating. It's not going to move. If there's no bid or ask, if there's no people, can the price move?
No.
It's impossible. If you say price is the most important factor in the stock market, you have no fucking idea how the stock market works. And you will fail 9 out of 10 times. Volume is very important in my opinion. Sure, there's algorithms that run this and that, grab liquidity. Liquidity is the volume. People will say, yeah, price pays and algos. Yes, but algos are programmed to grab volume, liquidity out of the market and into the market, right? So, new terms of stuff, but, nothing changed in the stock market. It just got automated and more robust, I would say for the dealers, for the locals.
A participant of buyers and sellers.
Yeah, nothing really changed. So when you look at this on Tessie, right? We have this untapped supply, and you also have this. I would say this is a big level. It might look like a small shelf till I change this, but this shelf here, this value area low here at 244 is nothing. It's not very small. This is a decent shelf for a rejection, because if I was to do this, look at this now, right? You have 245. You're gonna get a rejection here, right? And they came very close. They couldn't even reclaim that. So now, if they can't hold this, in my opinion, this whole move here was a bunch of bullshit that they had when, we bounced. They just pick heavy stocks. And look, this whole up run, I'm giving you even the top candle here. And look at where the volume is. So if you lose this level 230, let's say tomorrow, what do you think we do?
POC.
It goes 215, man. You give it 2 weeks and it's at 215. It's gonna go here. Would they expect some, retailers buying at 220? Yeah, just because it sounds like a good number. At 220, do you see any volume being traded?
No.
Single prints, single prints, single prints. Once they hop below this level, it's gonna be whoop,
Fly right through.
10 points now. And just remember, I'll notate the chart, but it's gonna be a quick move on Tesla, okay? So when I'm playing shelves, for instance, on Tesla, let's say I wanted to short this, okay? So if I look at this, and if I'm shorting this, where would you guys short it? Like, let's say you're patient, you short it here. I use the shelves for protection. What does that mean? If I'm shorting entry here, where would be my stop loss? I'm looking for the big shelves.
Value area high.
Behind
Yeah,
the
so
shelf.
in this case, this would be here, right? You could hide right behind somewhere here, right? That's a good point. If I'm, let's say, going, long, let's say your price auctioned here, I would definitely look for this long. Why would I want to go long here? On this shelf right here, this tiny one right here. Why would I want to go long on this one?
Because the shelf has protection on the downside.
Yeah. And where would my protection be? If I'm really put it right in the middle of this gap, right? Because it's called gap protection. They're most likely going to protect it. They're not going to allow it to go there. If I'm giving it room to go, and that's based on your model, right? Let's say I get in here and I'm targeting to, I wouldn't target necessarily, POC to a penny, because things start slowing down, right? And I'll give you an example so you guys understand. If I do this 2.54 on a, let's say on this play, because this play will happen quick, because there's a lot of skinny belly here. There's some volume uptick, but they could drive this, right? Tesla is a momentum stock. Once they hit it, they don't stop. It's almost like, they see God and they just like, oh my God, like buy. Like they all get in and they just drive it. Like I don't get it personally. Like what's the excitement about it? But if you can make money, great. Be excited about it. So it's key for them, reclaim this and go. But I would hide behind these shelves right here. You see how this shelf drops? So
I can't hear you. What?
I'm sorry.
What is?
Oh, I'll tell you.
Yep.
So if you think about this, I am going long here, or if I want to be really precise with my entry, could I not wait for this entry at 245.32? Like right here? But what happens if this entry doesn't come here and it bounces here? How would you feel? What happens to most traders?
Chase it.
They
Chasing.
chase it, and then they start moving this, and what happens to your reward? It gets smaller and smaller as you're pushing your buys on the market, right? You can find a happy medium of this, right? You can be like, okay, I'm looking at 250. 250 is even number. I would say that's a decent number to get in. If you see, and that's where, the footprints can help you. If you're approaching this level and you're seeing some, buyers come in, or let's say previous buyers were here, and you see that they could potentially defend this, well, I mean, probably there's an imbalance somewhere on Tesla right here. If you see that's happening, it's not a bad level to look at the footprints and look at the candle formation as you approach. If you see the strength of sellers, you don't see slowing down, that's fine. I don't mind, if you're buying this. I don't like playing weeklies when it's past Wednesday. Most of you guys know that. If it's past Wednesday, I usually look at the forward week, next week, to trade options, right? And this is mainly due to recent change of the SPXs. If you guys recall, I think they just added more probabilities for retail to lose. So one way to defend myself is to buy a little bit more time. I lower my reward, but I also protect my return. Like my capital is a little bit more protected than yours if you're playing a lot of zero DTs. Do I play zero DT? Of course I do. But on something like this, I would, if it's past Wednesday, I'll probably look at next week and play like 263s or 265s. And if you can catch them at a good price, that's ideal. And I would
Shorty, a
protect
question.
myself. So hold on one second. Let me finish this.
Okay.
I would stay behind these shelves. So they would have to chew up all these orders in this case to get up. And since this is, mainly in a downtrend that I'm looking, I could do total opposite, right? I can go from here to here and see what happened here, right? So if I look right here right now, where were the buyers the heaviest? So there's the shelf right here, and then there's a shelf right here. And if you look what they did. They bounced nicely off of this shelf. They gave you a nice little bounce, and then they trapped everyone short, and then they bounced, even made a higher high from there. So hiding behind shelves just gives you a little bit more guarantee that, you won't be hit on a stop loss. I guess they cleaned up this nicely. ES just run stops there. I guess I'm glad I didn't take it. Oh, they just ran the run stops. Oh my God, that was disgusting. Look at that. He just posted over here. They ran 4, 5 levels, 6 levels, 7 levels of run stops just now. Oh, beautiful.
And Shorty, you could tell that because of all the zeros on the left hand side on the bid.
Yep. So, CK, what are they doing there?
Those are on the ask side. So essentially either absorption of buying or aggressive buying, as in passive selling or aggressive buying. Now in this case, because we are going up, so that means at this point of time it will be a sell stop. It could be a sell stop which is triggered on a market basis. If we go up, which will be on the ask side, I guess that's what it is.
That's
Is that
correct.
right?
Yeah, that is correct. I don't think these are stop buys in this point. I don't think, because if it was stop buys, we would have auctioned higher than 415.
Auction higher after this, yes.
Yeah. So we have an auction higher than 415. This is telling you that these were basically, somebody had a short and they had stop losses. And when your stop losses are hit, how does it execute it?
Market.
Market buy. Right. So that they're not executed as, ooh, you're gonna get this. No, it's not guaranteed you're gonna get that. Remember that little slippage you get? That's your slippage. That's where they hit you.
So if I understand correctly, a person may have been short, but then right around like right around 12, they had
39
a
and
stop.
85. That's correct. They had a stops around 12.75 and 13.
And then it went past that and it just like executed their stop and wherever it could get in.
Yep. Because you see
Okay.
the imbalance there for a moment between 157 and 205, 39 and 85. Those are, sell side. There's aggressive sellers right there at 12 and I would say 12 and a quarter. I can't zoom in, but yes, you see that? Like in that level, they started selling and the POC was there, which is telling you they're taking what? Most likely profit taking is occurring there. So then if it's profit taking, that short people see it as a quick short opportunity, right? So remember, when you look at auctions, right? When we auction the $20 bill, right? And we can always do it again, it's not a big deal. When we auction $20 bills, you guys start 15, 10, 5, 19, and then we get to 19 and close to 20, what happens to the auction?
It's no more interest.
No more interest, it stalls. And I just hear nobody on this chat. You guys just went away. Right, so the same thing happens in the market right here. So they're auctioning. They could not find more buyers. There's aggressive sellers, right? But obviously somebody's watching here, right? So he was able to trigger their stop losses. He saw a tape full of them and he just hit them really hard. And not much you can do, right? I mean, if you're trading the game properly, you're going to get hit and you're not going to win every game. And now watch what they're doing, right? They're executing the down. They're executing the short, but you won't be in it unless you get back in. Does that make sense, Alan?
Yeah. And I guess generally when you see them, I guess at least like from what I see, if you're quick enough, you just play the opposite of it if you can.
You can, but think about it. If it catches momentum, if this was a regular trading hours, it can catch momentum.
Yeah.
Like that Friday, if you remember Friday, I don't know who was on, we traded live and NQ was catching stops. I mean, they were just doing stop losses pretty much the whole for like 50 points. If you guys recall, I went to pick up my son from the bus. I came back and we ran like 30 points on ES and like 70 points on NQ. And I said 72 was going to be hit. I don't know which level on NQ was.
Yeah,
But,
I remember.
and I mean, they just took off. It was the sellers were just escaping the market. They kept getting out, and then they just ran the stop losses. Whoever tried short was not shorting with size, and they got punished. Okay, so here's NQ. Same concept here. Come on. Wow. Man, they really tried to run NQ today, huh? Hmm. It's a weird 5-day balance. It's almost like if you go 5 days, if you include this day, it's a really. I want to include this day here, but they came back. I mean, they hit this sweep. I don't know if anyone caught this, guys, but they hit the sweep puck, and oh my God, they did not like it. Wow. So they have one more 51.733. And I think that's it for them. They have one more here and one here, and I guess the top. Okay. All right. So looking at this, what would you guys want to auction here? Where do you want to go above so you can catch a nice move? This is clear, actually.
Above PDPOC, which is a CPOC as well.
Say it again.
Above PDPOC, which is CPOC as well of the accumulation.
Well, we're above PDPOC now.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at my chart.
PD value area high.
You have this zone that you do not want to trade in right now. The only way you trade in is actually you short this. This is a potentially good short on NQ right here, right now. Why is that? So I would potentially wait, auction below this shelf. I feel like this. Not gonna blame somebody on this call here, but my settings. I would say if we break this right here, guys, there's a high chance we're gonna go lower. Where would you guys expect this to go to?
First node.
Okay, you have this node here, right? I would expect that they're gonna potentially get a little bounce here at whatever this level is, 14,993, right?
Yeah,
It's not a big
14,994,
node from
yeah.
prior day, guys. So this is a big node for developing. Remember, developing is happening after hours ETH. This volume node here is tiny compared to, I would say, the volume node that's here, or obviously that's here, right? So this PDPOC might be like a level of interest here, 14,970, and this one here might be pretty good levels to target if they lose that. But I think there's big ER tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's what's the name of
NVIDIA.
that? NVIDIA, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna remove this for a second. And you see where we are. We're right above this shelf here. So losing this shelf here, honestly, 1505-ish if you want to wait. It's a high potential for short.
There's a similar shelf on ES that they rejected as well, just now.
Are they below 10?
40 is at 12. It's pretty
No.
close.
They're gonna tap 15.
They were 50 cents away from 15 before it reversed right here.
They're gonna push this higher, I would say.
Yeah, they were very close to 15.
50 cents.
Yeah.
Because they held this. I mean, this is the level for me to short NQ with decent size. It's this, guys. This is 14,932 would be the level. Once you lose this, I honestly don't see a reason why we can't get the 14,827. And then you see here, if I was to grab these nodes. Yeah, I mean, you lose this, you have a tiny support, then you have a decent one, and then the POC sitting here on the run up at 14,729. I mean, it's pretty tight though. I mean, 200 points on NQs. It's nothing major. Why these levels are dotted?
I haven't been on in a little bit, so I don't know.
I was right about to blame you.
No, not me. I don't do black dotted.
Yeah, I know, you do yellow.
I already have a question on the Tesla chart once you're done with this.
Mm-hmm. Let me just finish this. I mean, we really have to see this breakdown here. Because right now they're showing bullishness, right? That they want to go higher. And if they auction higher than 15 on NQ, 15 on NQ is going to send it to 50, right? If they auction below this level, which is call it 1505, then they're going to hit this 14,980 most likely. So that's what I would watch here. And then I would just mark up the rest of the SIGs here. No, they're pretty far. It's a really wide distribution here. Because that's second. I think that's plenty for me here to tell me which way they want to go here for now. Yeah, so I mean, losing this triggers us to at least 731, which should be about 100 points drop here, guys. You lose this, you're dropping here, lose that, you're dropping here, so you can play these levels. Right now, I think they're gonna fix these prints here. They're gonna fix this right here, probably. Oh, they already did. 1426. See if they're able to break this. I'll probably take NQ short overnight. Right now, they're holding this above this level here, so. Yeah, we gotta break 5. Aggressively 9, normal 5. And guys, this might dump here. This has a high chance that it can dump here, surprise few people. So we are value area highs right here at 1530. Prior day, I mean, this value area high where we are rejecting this. Let me hide this. So the value area low here is rejecting. So this is usually when you have a value area low of a day and then you have a value area high, do you really think it's worth trading here? You guys see what I'm pointing at?
Yeah, and I'd say no.
Guys, this is a no trade zone, dude. You do not want to be stuck between 20 and 30. I guarantee you, you're going to hate it. And I would say this is a really good short level, guys. You came back here, you dumped it, you looked above, and you failed at the first 2 sig here. Really nice. And you hit the VPOC here that was sitting beautifully at 13. If you can auction higher than 30, we take this, drive it to 122, guys. That's about 100 points. You play one contract on NQ, and that's a lot of money. Right? So you don't have to maximize this. Even if you put this trade something like this, just try it. Try it for me, right? You do this, and you target this, and even if you let it go, trying to get it to be 3 here. That's the best I can do. Which would mean, right now you're behind this shelf, behind, below this PDH from, what is this, Monday? So this would be a really good level and a really good play to play. If we are able to get this, break above this PD value area high, come back on a retest, man, this would be a beauty, guys. Honestly, I would love this if I can catch this right here. If I don't catch this tomorrow, I probably won't even trade too much if I can't see the week unfolding and they're playing this nasty game of stop loss hunts. I'll just let you guys make all the money. Because this seems like a week to take money from people. So far we're in balance on this one. I just want to check, if you don't mind, quickly in the monthly where we are. Oof. Okay, what's happening here that hasn't been, let's see. What's different between ES and NQ here?
NQ broke June VA.
June VAL. Yes, and it bounced off of the little dump that we haven't gotten to ES, correct?
Bounce
We
off
haven't
the
hit,
value
Mhm.
area low.
but where's NQ compared to ES? Let's look at ES for a second.
NQ is almost inside the monthly, the developing monthly.
And where's the June POC here? It's 19, call it 5. All right. Look at this here. On bigger picture, what happens if they reclaim 61?
Go higher.
Where to?
At least 400, 400.
Wouldn't this be the target?
Mhm.
This becomes your immediate target, guys. It becomes 15, what is that, 373? So over 1567, you can catch, oh no, you can catch 300 points. Does anyone not have patience to wait? Is there anyone that's eager to fucking trade and not wait for this setup? If it happens, great. What else could be the setup here? I guess we just talked about it, but what's your short setup? This is, long picture, long. If you grab this June POC, you're gonna run. You're gonna run. And you just reclaimed value area. This is our, this could be the long setup here to 15,122. June POC is here, right? You should be cautious if you take this trade to either trim or look for a break, get back in. What's another trade here? Bearish trade.
You lose PDPOC, but PD well. Oh, on a weekly level, like higher.
So here's your weekly. Are we bullish or bearish here when you look at this?
It rejected off weekly POC, so
That's correct.
that's bearish.
Okay, and did we send it all the way to PD value area low? Yeah.
Not yet.
And if you're able to find value above PD value area high, where would we go? You'd probably test somewhere around 15.1 and then same POC again. Right? So you're watching this tomorrow to see this, right? If they're auctioning over 15.3, they can make a really strong squeeze here, for upside. Because right now, just pay attention to the value areas on the weekly. Strong P, value area, low gap below. What happened here? They started overlapping a little bit. All right, the POCs are getting tighter. So now if they're able to get a lot more volume here, what happens to this POC by the end of the week?
Shifts higher.
Shifts higher, and that usually sets up when you have a compression like that and the POCs are stacking. It happens a lot of times, right? When they start stacking like this, I'm trying to find a downtrend, but it's really hard. You have value area gap. Look at the stack here and look, they went higher, they popped, and then they came back. So not something that can happen here, right? If they're able to push this, the auction higher, switch the POC, they pop, and then I don't know when this JPOW is, the day after or Friday, these peaks, they could, bring it up all the way to here, let's say 15.2, or the top here, which they rejected really nice. They had no interest in building value above this right now. So it could be that they're targeting honestly to go here, which should be 1, 2, it could be a three-week balance that they're going for the target.
Shorty, your June POC is at 126, right? 15?
My June POC is a 62.
62.
Yeah. You have it at 133.25.
No, I have it at 126. I don't know why. You're using one
Oh, I see
PVD.
it at 126. Yeah, that might be a better one in this case than the daily. I'm looking here, right? I'm just trying to assess which one is more responsive to the price action.
Okay.
So if I look at this is where you have it. I would say that's a. It would validate this play that I have over 30 much easier than the one at 62.
Yeah,
I
because I was like, what? Yeah.
So there's a support here that, we played, but we auctioned deep into it. And we hit this supply. So if I was to look at this from the top, let's say here to this bottom, the POCs here of the sell-off. Why does it keep doing this? They hit the sell-off POC pretty nice here. Let's see what are they doing now. Yeah, no, you're right. I think it's better suited in this case on 4 hours than it is on daily.
Yeah, I was just hoping that I didn't have the levels wrong.
No, I had it on daily. I took that on daily.
Okay.
Okay, so I would definitely be interested in this play here tomorrow. This would be my go-to play. If we break below this level, things turn around a little bit and we would most likely target somewhere on the bottom here. So the POCs here, you don't really have much on this run up, at least 987. But there's a lot of shit here. Like if you guys look, it almost looks like a perfect head and shoulders. You had a nice bounce and now you're running the head and shoulders. I don't know if they're gonna play it out. Head and shoulders usually happen in uptrends, not downtrends. And if you go on, bigger picture here, I would say we changed the character here, but we're still below it. So 15.6 changes the character and they haven't been able to go higher. They went higher today, but they failed. So if they reclaim it today and they reclaim 30, honestly, guys, I think we can run a lot more. So
Shorty, what would be the long-term short level in this one?
I would say long. I mean, if we catch this right here, if they push it by some miracle, 15.8, I would say that's a beauty. If you can catch this. To get in, maybe 15.6, start looking at some long dated puts for Qs. And this over here, because there's a lot of, remember we covered it there. Apple was at support.
Yeah.
Apple's at support here. This is the reason why I took the short today on Apple, is right here. I don't know if you guys saw that, but this is basically what I was looking at. So that's the reason why I took this. They dumped, they reaccumulated, they dumped. So now I'm just playing the reaccumulation zone. If they break this low here, I know for a fact, if they lose this, I can catch 165 and, $12 drop with a good entry on Apple usually pays really nice. So this one was at support. Now it's kind of on the flip side of the resistance. So if they break that, they have a high chance to dump, right? And then you see here, they bounce this guy here. But I would not be surprised if this also comes back because this is also a decent SR flip. Yeah, they're auctioning higher here. So, and then I honestly think this is, oh, okay. Well, what candle is this? These two? Anyone? Does anyone know the setup?
One of those piercing candles, dark
Yeah.
cloud or something like that.
Yeah, bearish piercing. Yeah, it's a really good candle. I don't trade it alone, but it's a really good candle. They had an abandoned baby that they fixed here.
They made a new high today.
I see that. Well, they didn't like it much, did they?
No, it's like 483 or 482.90, something like that.
I mean, that was a fucking drop.
It was 30 points almost. It's 27, I think, from
I mean,
top
they
to bottom.
killed a lot of puts here, man. I mean, think about this. It went from 400 to 500 and
It was a 20% move, top to bottom or bottom to top.
Guys, this is a couple of $100 billion in market cap right here being moved.
Holy shit.
Think they're gonna be it. If they lose this tomorrow, I would definitely watch this zone tomorrow on this. Actually, I would take it. If I see weakness as we come here, and I might just take some 400 puts for fun. 400 puts, and believe it or not, I would. Let's see. Let's see what kind of calls we can get into. I would play like 530 calls and 420 puts. You could even play 400 puts. 400 puts or 530 calls. I don't know what's the implied move. Take the closest in the money strike for tomorrow on the put and the call side, multiply by 80%, then you'll get it.
They're saying 9 to 10%, but I don't know if that's going to actually be true.
Well, let's calculate it now. Let me just look at the option chain.
I mean, contracts that are in the money are like 26 bucks, 25 bucks.
So 25 and a half and 23 and a half, 25 and a half. $39 points tomorrow.
Yeah, that's about right. About 9 to 10%.
Yep. 39 points. We're gonna move tomorrow. Let's see. From here, I mean, they could definitely. So let me know if you look at this from the close here. This is fucking scary. 31 points. That's too much. So somewhere around here, I honestly think they can. If they run, they're gonna run to here. 530s.
Crazy.
But don't be surprised if they pull off where it stays flat. Because they did some crazy ass moves in the earnings. And you know, if the market makers lost last time, what would be their strategy this time?
Burn everybody.
Burn both sides, man, just so they make up. And I've seen it happen. So maybe like Iron Condor is not bad. But I don't have the heart to play heavy on earnings. No, do I suggest anyone does, but yeah, it's just very, very risky to play this. It's already up like at 260 PE, so I don't know how they're gonna pay their investors back. Okay. All right, Tobias, did that help with the questions maybe around the shelves? Well, hopefully it did. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll write up the plan tonight, maybe even tomorrow morning. Let's see how we auction here. I don't know where ES is at the moment. If it's about 15 or not.
No, it's at 12.
Yeah. Okay. They're about 15.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
They're gonna run
but-
to 15 here, but then next.
Yeah, it looks like they
15
want
minutes.
higher.
Shorty, can you look at Tesla, please, before you log off?
I thought we did. What's going on with it?
No, I had a question on that shelf that you built. So that one, 243, you were saying that
240, 249,
Mhm.
where you will go long, but there is the
POC of this
sh-
one.
now. So this one 245-ish. You said you guys want to wait there. Yeah, below. There where there's POCs, that small POC.
Yep,
That
you
one,
can wait
right.
there. Yeah.
Now the question that I have is there is a big shelf there which is like closer to the POC. Why would you go long here? Because isn't that
I
shelf is
mean,
gonna
think
be
about it. If you
little
go
risky?
here and you come back, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I do this? You do this, I'm going long. I'm not going long. Like, they need to auction. Probably come here, right here, 253, and then you come back. That means the absorption of these sellers is gone. Like, they absorb these guys because this is a downtrend sell-off. So look here, right? So you see here, right? So I just looked at this shelf here just to see where exactly the level is. If you're able to reclaim this liquidity node, most likely you're headed here to 266. So if you're able to get in this empty space, reject this gap on the top, and then you come back, that's why I was looking to find the exact spot. Where is this POC? So it's sitting at 245. So if you break here, you could get in at 250 with some swings or wait 5 points less and go long from there. So it's either here, go long on a retest, or go here and then play it somewhere like this. That's the two scenarios. This is one. And then the other one is you do something like this, right? Wherever that takes you. So something like this.
I was just not able to wrap my head around that. If there's a POC, big shelf above, why would I go long?
Well,
That was I was
this
thinking.
is a sell-off POC. I just wanted to find where's the shelf POC. The only way I can do that is if I zoom in and draw an FVP
Okay,
on
yeah,
these
got
four
it.
candles. So I know it's 245. So if we hop over it, if they, let's say they reject 50 instead of they go in here, that's total, I would say 5 points above, come back. I think that's not a bad long and drive to 65. They could
Thank you.
definitely do that. Yep.
You can take profit halfway.
Yep. Why not? 256.
255, 56.
It'll work every time.
Trim 75 and hold the last few runners.
Yep. Let's take a look at Melly.
And
Melly
getting
for
30,
good
40
stuff.
points on, it's quite a bit.
Man, this is just this is identical chart. Does anyone get? Maybe you guys. I have a really photogenic memory. Does anyone recall what this looks like right here? Let me go on the monthly. I'll take a
Netflix?
screenshot. Watch this.
Upstart.
No.
Caterpillar.
Amazon? That was it. Okay, that was the
Amazon.
only other one I thought. Amazon or Netflix.
How close are these two charts? All right, pay attention. Consolidate. Pop. Pop. Sell off. Doesn't that look identical? Or am
Volume
I
dropping
just
on the way
looking?
up.
Volume dropping, same kind of consolidation from this POC, I wouldn't have the guts to go long here on this. This is like Latin America Amazon, right? I think it is, right? If I remember correctly. I don't have any shares of this, but this was not this, but this. They potentially catch some bid here right now. It looks like they're defending this buying spot here. I think they could honestly bounce here. If you want to wait for 1200, it might be a good spot. Go above, but they're failing to make higher highs here.
Mercado Libre? The hell is this?
They're like Amazon of Latin America, man.
Yeah, that's like, yeah.
They're big.
Damn.
It's a huge company. Ran by your cousin's mafia.
Nice. Mine and Cubans.
even running the show here, man. We could go 94 here. I would not be interested above it. Nobody else was. Why would I be? Okay. Alright, guys. Well, I'm gonna hop off, get some rest, and I'll
See ya.
you guys tomorrow. Probably gonna hit 50.
All right, Shorty. Thank you.
You guys.
Thanks, Shorty.
Gracias, amigo.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Bye, guys.